start it right now. I'll get the Zoom link ready for the Slack. Alright, YouTube is live. We got people populating. Hello, hello guys, welcome, welcome. We're just waiting for the Zoom guys to populate over here a little bit. And I would say let's start off with some analysis. Firstly, we're gonna analyze what news is coming out today. So we see that in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, we're gonna have some very, very high impact news coming out for the pound. Basically, the bank rates. Actually, let me get the YouTube music up and running as well. So let's do that first, and then we'll start talking about the charts a little bit. Alright, so we have the music playing in the background. Hello, hello YouTube, hello Zoom, Jeff from Zoom. So we have basically interest rates, and from what I've seen is the past year they've been keeping the rates the same at 0.10. So I think it's very safe to say that the rates are going to remain the same at 0.10. If we take a look at the previous one, the votes have stayed the same for over a year now, since March 11, 2020, so pretty much a year. Oh dear. Oh dear, what did I do? Let's refresh this website. So yeah, we can expect the rates to stay the same. So if the rates are staying the same, is that already priced in, or that's going to be good news for the pound, obviously? So is that already priced into GJ's price with this bullish rally in the past couple days? So the question is, are we going to see a pullback or a continuation with the rates? And I think that's something we need to take a look at in the. Let me lower the music a little bit. So that's something we're going to have to take a look at once we get a little closer to the rates. Maybe I'll be looking to do a buy stop, sell stop. My bias is more bullish, so I'm going to be more looking for buy stop opportunities. So let's draw our zones here for GJ. Basically, GJ, we see that daily candle closed back inside this daily range over here, which is from this level up to this level, and we're exactly in the middle of it. So this is, if price does go up, this is going to be a target right over here. So for bullish targets, we're going to have the first target at 155.400. With volume, I think it can definitely come up to around 156, to be honest. But as a first target, I think 155.400 is going to be really good. In terms of selling, I think sells are going to become very, very tricky. Let's take a look at the lower time frames for sells. We see that there's a support formed right over here. If we go to the 30-minute and 15-minute, yeah, we can adjust this support down to this 15-minute area. So if we do see strong candles closing below here, to be honest, I think we could see some sells, but we're gonna wait for the news to come out. We're gonna wait for the pound news to come out, the interest rates, see how that forms, and then make our decisions based off that. So the analysis for pound yen is basically wait for interest rates. So I'm gonna write this down. Alright, now let's do some technical analysis on gold, looking at the daily. So we know we're at weekly support. Looking at the daily, daily is starting to form a support over here. It looks like it's starting to form a support. It's still open, and we're reaching to this daily resistance. So let's go to our lower time frames. We see that there's a 4-hour resistance right over here. We're coming from a 4-hour support right over here. Let me adjust that correctly. Perfect. So we're coming to this 4-hour resistance. If we take a look at the lower time frames, we can basically adjust this resistance. I'm going to keep the line there, but let's take a look at the 30-minute. So what we see is that the 30-minute broke this structure to the left with this candle. Right over here, it broke this structure, this bear structure. That means we're respecting the 4-hour support. It did a retest of this zone and is now continuing up. So we know that this line over here is a daily and 4-hour resistance. Yeah, that's a daily and a 4-hour resistance right over here. So we're going to be very, very cautious with this level. But I think with volume, we can look at these clean candles to the left and mirror them. So let's see, where would our targets be if price does continue on upwards? I think we can target around 1787. I think that's going to be a very good first target. If we pay attention to the most recent price action, we see a little bit of a range forming here during dead market hours. So potentially, if we start getting closes above this minor range over here, we can continue on upwards. As we are respecting a 4-hour support, we expect the 4-hour to come up to the resistance. Correct. Hello, Black Coffee, Louise, Vindy, Professor Pippage. We've got all the OGs in the YouTube chat. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Sanja asking, so buy? Yeah, the bias is bullish on gold. I don't know if you can buy it right off the bat, but with confirmations, I think so, absolutely. Because basically we're coming from 4-hour support. That means we should tap into 4-hour resistance, which is technically right over here, but with volume there's basically 3 other resistances where it can wick into, just like we see yesterday at NYSE. This 4-hour wicked all the way up to here, filled the wicks to the left, and then rejected. So that's basically the analysis for gold. We do have USD news coming in 30 minutes after the New York Open, which is expected to be very, very positive, quite positive. So previous unemployment was 4.1 million people unemployed, and this week we're looking at 3.8 million people unemployed. So there's about 300,000 people that have been employed in the past week. So that's really good news for the dollar, and when you have good news for the dollar, then gold tends to come down, as they are heavily correlated. But price action is telling us that gold is going to go up, so we're going to stick with a bullish bias until we see otherwise. So if the YouTube has any charts to send in, any questions, just pop it in the YouTube chat. 4-hour opened without bottom wick on gold. I think it has somewhat of a bottom wick. Yeah, that's true. It has a little bottom wick, but that's okay. It filled the wick, broke the high. If we break above this area, I think, yeah, buys are going to be somewhat delicate going up to here. I think what we're going to want to see is maybe a target created, and then a pullback and a support form to retest the target. So we know that this line over here is a daily and 4. Okay, perfect. perfect. So YouTube is good. Hey, I entered at 1777. I closed 30%. Was wondering if I should close the rest. 1777. Ooh, that's quite low. That's a pretty good entry down there. I think if you close 30%, I mean, you're up 50 pips. So I don't know. I think it's a good idea to close maybe a majority of your position, because you're coming into this 4-hour resistance. So maybe if you only close 30%, maybe you can close something like 80%, 75%. That's what I would do. If numbers good, gold should drop. Yeah, that's theoretically gold should drop, but I mean, it's at a very strong support, so, and the daily is looking rather bullish, so it's tricky to say. It might just continue on ranging. So let's keep an eye on GJ, to be honest. I think since we're going to have the rates coming out pretty soon. Oh, screen went black. What's going on here? Let's check. No, the screen is perfect, guys. You're just trolling. Alright, let's analyze how to analyze GBP news for trading. We just did that basically. They're expecting good rates, and the question is it already priced in, or can we? Is there more room to go up? So we're gonna wait for that. Let's analyze maybe pound AUD in the meantime. GBP AUD. I know a lot of people like to trade this pair, so basically daily is coming down. It came down to this previous support after creating a high in a bullish market. Let's see if the 4-hour shows any signs. Alright, on the 4-hour we see support starting to be created, and we broke this structure by creating this resistance to retest the lows, and London Open, or the London 4-hour, basically broke this structure. So we are starting to see signs of potential buys here on GA to retest the highs. Let's take a look. Unfortunately, the lower time frames look like it's just a nasty range. I think it's also waiting for the interest rates. So maybe the interest rates can be the catalyst to push to create this daily support over here to retest the highs, if there's enough range, which is only 40 pips, so who knows. Let's maybe analyze a pair that isn't with the pound, so that we don't have to worry about interest rates. Somebody wants Euro JPY, please. Let's do Euro JPY. So we have daily time frame. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly came down. It's currently at the support. So taking a look at the daily candles are starting to get smaller and smaller. They are at this previous resistance point. So are we going to see maybe a form of a retracement? Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. So the 4 hours seems like it's creating a support right over here, but we also have resistance right over here. So I think the lower time frames are probably just ranging. Yeah. So we have a range. I think if we can break above this range, then we have a target of 20 pips to the left hand side. So let's see which level. So this is a wick, and if we take a look at this zone over here, I think if we break above this zone at 132.500, let's call it, then price can fill these wicks to the left. So this resistance becomes a wick fill, and then we can move on to this 30 pip range up to until 132.800. But for sells, I think price needs to break below this support all the way to the left at 132 flat. So, because then we're really breaking structure and we have clean traffic to the left. So that's the whole analysis for Euro JPY over here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Oh, it looks a bit messy. What is Mt5 Ecn? It's basically Ecn is a pro account where the spreads are much tighter than a standard account. Let's see, gold is pushing up to the resistance. Oh wow, this candle closed above resistance and it's pumping up. I guess I wasn't paying attention to this close over here, missed it, but that's okay because the stop loss would have been rather big, I think, 18 pips. So yeah, it should be an easy move up to 74. Right over here. But for me to take a buy on gold, I want to see a target created, a minor resistance, and then a pullback and a support form to retest that resistance, because it's very tough to say where gold, if you take the breakout, it's very tough to say where it's gonna go, because you have a resistance right over here, daily resistance right over here, and then a 4-hour resistance right over here, so it can reject quite easily at any point. So that's why I would prefer to see a high created and then a pullback to retest the high, because then I know that the high is where is my target and I don't need to worry about where it's going to reject. Oh, looks like a beautiful entry right here on the 5-minute with an 8-pip stop loss. You'd be up around 10 pips almost. I wonder if anybody took that trade on gold. No, I'm not in a buy on gold. I had a buy in London, was a quick 10 pips, and now I'm waiting for the interest rates to come out. Let's see how GJ closed on the 30-minute. Ooh, interesting. It formed this support on the 30-minute. I think it can... what's the stop loss? Ooh, I think it can definitely retest this high. It's a 18 pip range. What's the 15-minute looking like? Ooh, looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I think this support formed is a pretty good opportunity to retest the highs. But I'm going to wait for the interest rates and then maybe take a look at a potential buy stop above the hourly high. Gold is giving a nice one, yeah. May you look into Euro USD, just bought. Oh, nice. We'll take a look at Euro USD in a little while. Can you also check USD JPY? I think it will keep going down after hitting the daily resistance half a day ago. Yen is quite weak, so wondering. I think if you send a chart with what you're looking for, that's going to be more beneficial. So let's take a look at this Gbp USD chart. Hourly, we have sell zone, buy zone, first target. I think that makes sense, yeah. I think that makes perfect sense. If you break above this zone, you have about, what, at least a 20, yeah, at least a 20, 15 pip range going up to 1.400 flat. So that's a pretty good idea, I would say. And then if it breaks this structure, it can come down to this zone first and then ultimately down to there. Very nice chart. Why didn't you get active with Luke during London session? Well, I was basically gone. I came to the charts in the morning. I saw this potential buy opportunity and I didn't take it, hesitated a little bit, saw another second opportunity, but I didn't want to trade within this range, so I basically set what's it called, a alert over here on this level, an alert. So once price crossed this level, I got a notification and then I came back to the charts and I took a little buy right over here once this candle broke the high, secured a quick 10 pips and called it a session. And now I'm looking to see what we can do with the interest rates. Is Dominion Markets an ECN broker? Yes, it's ECN. You can select the pro accounts. I'm not in gold. Anyone buying Euro USD? I think there was somebody previously in the chat that bought Euro USD. Can I explain my gold buys in London session? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pretty simple explanation. Basically, if I can get my drawing tools. Basically, price was ranging in this box over here, right? Now we know we're at a 4-hour support. So when we're at a 4-hour support, and we had this hourly resistance, right? So 4-hour is clearly stronger than an hourly zone. So my bias was to break this zone, and once we broke this zone, there was basically clean traffic on the left, on the 15, 30 hourly 4-hour chart. There was clean traffic to the left. So with volume, we could have continued up to first this level and then this level over here. So my buy was executed. Once we have the initial leg up, we see a little pause in the market right over here. And once we broke the high, my stop loss was right over here. And I caught the second leg up, right? And then after the second leg up, what we see is a deeper pullback down to retest this broken support. This broken resistance, which now should turn into a support, and we see that this candle closed bullish, indicating that this resistance is going to turn into is going to be respected as a support. So then this was like the third leg up, right? So the initial leg up happened within the range to break outside of the range, and then you had a little pause in the market, and then the second leg up, and then a deeper pullback, and a third leg up. So I took my buys on the third leg up. Second leg up, sorry. Right over here, I can show that on the screen. This is my Mt5 account. Basically, took the buy right over here. It was taken once the 30-minute broke the high, because what I said was basically I was looking for two things: a weak 5-minute candle or the break of the 30-minute high, because gold has so much volume. So I executed at 1781.25 and then secured majority at around 8 pips, and then the runner got stopped out of break even, so that's why we see plus 7 pips. But it was a pretty good trade. I think we're gonna see what we get in this New York session. When analyzing gold, do you analyze all the way to the 5 minutes? No, I basically draw my zones from the daily down to the 30-minute to 15-minute, depends which one makes more sense, and then I look to execute on the 5-minute sometimes. If there's enough volume, then I look at the 5-minute to execute. But I'm not going to draw zones based off the 5-minute, because those are very weak zones. Is gold a buy from 82.50? Not confident in it at the moment. Seems to retrace 15. 82.50. I think, yeah, once this 30-minute closed above this resistance, that was absolutely an opportunity. Then all you need to ask yourself is, where is the stop loss placement going to be? So if you take a look at the 30-minute, the stop loss would have been 22 pips. So then you need to ask yourself, am I allowed to have a 22 pips when the range is only maybe 15 pips, or whatever you're looking at? Maybe you're looking to reach all the way up there. But so the next thing you need to do is basically look at where is a logical stop loss placement that's within your plan. So for me, I'm not allowed to have a stop loss bigger than 15 pips on gold. So what I would have done is I would have looked to the 5-minute, and I would have seen that, okay, 30-minute closed right over here with this 5-minute candle closing. This resistance wouldn't have bothered me, because that was a wick fill on the 30-minute, right? That was this wick which needed to be filled, and then once it broke the high, it would continue on higher. So I wouldn't pay attention to this. And I think this reflects back on a question we had before, is, would I analyze the 5-minute zones? And no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay attention to that resistance. So I'd keep my zone here, and this 5 minute would provide a very good stop loss placement of around 10 pips, as price shouldn't really be breaking these lows right over here. And that's how I would have cut this move, with a logical stop loss placement. But yeah, this no bottom wick is a little irritating, I would say. Not looking for a sell? On gold? No. No, I wouldn't be looking for a sell because previous 4 hour closed very strong bullish at a support. So you have to understand we're at a 4 hour support, 4 hour respected support. If this was the 30 minute, you'd be looking to probably maybe take buys up to fill this wick. Well, maybe, probably not, because you shouldn't be trading the range, but if we are at a support, then price should go up, right? I think volume can keep on pushing up since we have this lower time frame clean traffic to the left. If we create a high and then pull back to retest the highs, that's going to be my trade. If the Bank of England remains dovish for the rates, how do you feel this will affect GBP? I think if they keep the rates the same, that's going to be a catalyst to continue on moving upwards. How far upwards? I would say maybe to 156 potentially. We might even start seeing the monthly flip bullish and breaking the highs, which I wouldn't really like that, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's tricky to say. I'm more bullish on it. I think it's going to have a bullish impact onto the market. So I'm going to be looking more for buy stops, but at the same time, I'm aware that it could be priced in already with this move up. So we're really going to see. But what we're seeing is rejections from the bottom side. So that's why I'm not interested in sell stops, is because price is grabbing liquidity over here. So what's the probability that with news it can wick down to grab liquidity and then break highs? $155 on GJ is very strong. Oh yeah, that's true. We're also at this you know, psychological resistance. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out. Will bank rates affect gold? No. No, it shouldn't really affect gold. Maybe you might see spreads widening in on your broker, but it shouldn't affect the direction of gold at all. Let's see, did I miss any charts from the gulag? How is the indicator called on the left with your winning trades? I have no clue. You mean like these arrows over here? These arrows, they come standard. Oh, maybe this indicator? I think this is called magic keys. That's basically magic keys over there. South Africa is watching, sir. Nice, welcome. All the way from South Africa. Crazy. How did I meet Raja? Honestly, I have no clue. I forgot. Oh no, actually, a friend of mine recommended me to his streams. I tuned in once, and I'm like, man, all these guys do is talk. They never trade. They only take 1 or 2 trades a day. That's are they here to talk or make money? And I basically ignored his streams for a long time, and then eventually I decided that maybe scalping is the right way to go. So I came back to Raja, and that's how I met him. See, I don't think I missed any charts. There aren't many. Do you think levels like 50 EMA should be marked when trading price action like this? I don't mark anything. I only mark the candlestick zones. I think like 90% of the time they always line up to the candlestick zones anyway, so why would you want to mark them as well? So now we see the 30-minute came to flip bearish. It went like what? Yeah, 9.5 pips in profit. It's now coming down bearish to retest this level. GJ, we have the interest rates coming in 15 minutes over here. Exciting time. What is the minimum leverage on Dominion markets? I think it's 1 to 500 on currencies and 1 to 100 on metals. We got Iron Man coming in from South Beach, Miami. Beautiful location. Welcome, welcome. All right. So let's see if there's maybe any news leading this interest rates. No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, really a waiting game here on pound yen. It would be amazing to get a candle confirmation to line up with the news, since right now it's kind of ranging. So it's, to be honest, it's kind of like 50-50 because it's ranging. But if we have this hourly closing above here with the news, oh dear, then that's going to be a huge move up, I think. It's going to be interesting to see where this hourly closes. Am I gonna use buy stop, sell stop? Maybe. If there's a candle confirmation with the news, like this 30-minute maybe closing above this resistance, then I would be looking to take a buy stop, yeah. The 4-hour flipping bullish. Can you send me the Zoom link? So I can join? I don't think it works like that. You need to join. The Zoom link is only for Market Fluidity members right now. What's the recommended leverage to use? I don't think you need any more than 1 to 50, 1 to 500 if you're going to risk 1 to 3%. Yeah, 1 to 3%, you don't need any more than 1 to 50, 1 to 100. So anything above that is unnecessary. You're just putting yourself at risk of over leveraging. So 10 more minutes until the pound news coming out here. So exciting times. Let's see what happens. I think, what's this range from here to here? 13 pips. 30-minute looks like this. Will you host a session when Raja returns? Yep. I think Raja's going to be streaming London, so Luke is going to continue on with his London streams, and I'll continue with the New York streams here and there. We have a chart for gold. Let's take a look at this chart. Ooh. Wrong chart. Let me double check. Yeah, this is wrong chart from the Gulag. Hello Dante, welcome, welcome. Have you heard of Holy Prophets and his Forex YouTube stream? He is always shorting GJ when it's so bullish. I don't know this specific YouTube stream, but I sure do know somebody who keeps on shorting GJ when it's super bullish. I think people in the Zoom also know him. See, apparently the pound pairs are breaking down. Doesn't seem so. Can we use 1 to 50 leverage in Dominion markets? Yes, sir. You can use any leverage you want in Dominion markets. So we have the same Maynard Oles sending in another chart, which I think is gonna be a wrong chart as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a wrong chart, man. It's the same link. Yeah, wrong chart, man. You need to I think you copied and pasted this side, but you need to click on the camera icon and then basically copy the one that's all the way to the right and then the X / and those digits. That's what you need to copy and paste in the chat. Have I taken any trades today? Yeah, I took a little buy in London session right before the 4-hour was closing. I took a buy at the break of this 30-minute high, rode it up for a quick 10 pips and called it a session. Let's take a look at Gbp Usd for this kind sir. Yeah, you see this is the correct chart. So this is the daily time frame. Bank of England push down this. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, kind of candles are getting weaker and weaker bullish. It kind of does look like it could go down if it rejects this resistance on the daily time frame. That's interesting. Let's take a look at pound USD as well. So we have pound AUD, GJ, and GU. So we're going to see how the news affects all these pound pairs. So news is coming out in 7 minutes. What do I think about buys above 1784? 84. Yeah, that makes sense. I think above this level over here you do have clean traffic, but then the question is maybe price overextended at if it closes above this level over here. So maybe you want to see a target created and then a pullback to this level to retest the target, or a booby trap candle to continue on upwards. So let's take a look at GU on the daily. We see big daily candle going up, and then after that pretty much closing rather weak bullish candles. We are coming up to this resistance point. So is the news going to respect this resistance and continue down to retest the lows, or break back above this resistance? Let's take a look at the weekly as well. Yeah, weekly is also at this previous rejection area, so it can really go either way. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. I think if 4 hours starts closing above this price over here, 1.400 flat, then it's 100% going to be bullish. So let's take a look at that. But if we respect 1.400 resistance flat and break this structural point to this uptrend, then 100% we can retest the daily lows and the daily can start coming down bearish. So that's my idea for GU. Then you need to look at the lower time frames to basically execute on this idea. I would say yeah, I'd say we need to wait for the news to come out. and see how it's gonna behave. So we got 5 minutes left until the news comes out. Oh dear. Let's see, we got a chart coming in from black gold. Let's take a look at the chart. Oh damn. Euro ZAR. Oh, I've seen you trade Euro ZAR before. Buys if this candle close above. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. On the 30-minute, you can retest the highs, waiting for a retest of the support. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I think that's a great idea. Ooh, gold coming back into the range. Let's see, 3 minutes left. Too much bubbles on lower time frames. Yeah. Oh, thank you, David Valenza. That's a really kind comment. Let's analyze maybe one last chart before the news comes out. Let's take a look at this chart. Gold 30-minute. We see you took a little buy over here. Price went up. You're in profits. That's really nice. Well done. Not much more to say about the chart. Okay, I guess one more chart. I'm curious to see other people's opinions on gold. It's always interesting. Let's take a look at this. Buy above with proper break and close above 4-hour resistance, or break and retest? Yeah, that's the big question. Do we want to take the breakout or the retest? Me personally, I think I'd rather take the retest, because then price has created a target, right? Because we know that based off the higher time frames, it can really reject at any point. So I would rather see, you know, price moving up, and then form like somewhat of a pullback like this, and then take the retest to go up, because then I know that this range over here, from where the candle forms a support to this high over here, is going to be a very high probability range. But to take the breakout up, we don't know where it's going to reject. Like, this is a 4-hour resistance, we had a daily resistance over here, and then all the way left we have all these issues left, wicks and everything. So it's very tough to say where it can reject from. So maybe the retest is going to be a little more safe, but who knows. So we have news coming in a minute and 30 seconds. Candle is closing somewhat weak bearish, weak bullish on the hourly. 30-minute looks bearish. 15-minute is bearish. I think this bearish candle is...
Let's get it.
Yeah, 100%. Is it Luke? I recognize you now.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows who it is? Yeah, honestly...
I got no idea, man.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this bearish candle on the 30-minute is like a booby trap if it breaks the high, but it's still ranging, so I'm not going to use any buy stops or sell stops. What do you think, Luke? Any ideas for the rates? Oh, man's a gunner. Yeah, I think the rates are going to be super interesting here in 30 seconds. I'm thinking if it breaks this 15-minute high, it can definitely continue on upwards, but my issue is that it's in this range. So to me, it seems like 50-50. Had we gotten a candle closing above or below, then 100% I'd take those sells or buys with the confluence of the news. But because there's no candle confirmation, I'm not so confident in where the news, which direction the news is going to head to. So I'm just going to observe this. Wow, spreads are like 5 pips on GJ right now. That's crazy. Oh, we have it. It's going up, no top wick. Okay, the spreads have become somewhat reasonable, like 3 pips right now. Let's see what happens if it does break this high. Let's see what the news come out to. I don't think it's gonna be out here yet. Ooh, they kept the rates the same, just like we just like I expected. You know, they've been keeping it the same for over a year now, so it hasn't broken the high. Ooh, it's breaking lows. Let's see if it breaks. Ooh. Damn. Oh, damn. Let's. Oh, sheesh. Crazy. Crazy drop over here. So I guess it was the pullback wins. The retracement won the day today. Sellers won, I guess. So I guess maybe GU is also going down then, forming a resistance at this daily level. So I guess it seems good to retest these lows maybe tomorrow on a Friday. GU, ooh, wow, GU just broke supports over here. I mean GA. GA broke the 4-hour support. It's now coming down. It can fill these wicks to the left. Let's take a look at. Oh, sheesh. GJ is melting. Damn. Oh, by the way, Luke, you became the host again. So make sure to give that back before you leave, else everybody's gonna get kicked off the Zoom. But damn, crazy news event. It basically corrected this whole clean traffic to the left, right over here. And it's still going. So how could we have caught this? I think probably a sell stop below the 4-hour low would have been the way to catch this move. But you need to have some huge confidence in it. Somebody was going to short, but price went too fast down. Yeah, that's why we use buy stops and sell stops, is because price moves so fast. It's crazy. Oh, somebody says, or on the flip of the candle sits and didn't have a bottom wick. That's true. I guess once it grabbed the liquidity and started to flip bearish and break lows, that was a pretty good entry. Somebody caught 16 pips. Amazing. So let's take a look at the votes. I guess the votes have to be the same for price, for the rates to be kept the same. Yeah, votes are the same. This is the same. Everything is the same. So at this point then you can say, yeah, it was basically priced in. Gold about to melt? I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it. It's pretty bullish. It's pretty bullish, but it is at this very tricky zone. But even if it does melt, the range is not the prettiest. So we got a horror story. Slippage. I lost $4,000 and made 8,000 back. This is true gambling. Damn, crazy. How'd you lose 4,000 and how'd you make 8,000? So GU or GA is dropping like a madman. GU broke the daily low over here. Yeah, I think GU was cleaner because the range was more defined. We have Ricardo on. How are you, Ricardo?
I'm good.
Nice,
I
nice.
entered it. I entered it below that wick.
This one to the left.
You got it.
154, 600.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't put a sell stop. I just
Manual.
waited and then hit it.
Oh, nice.
It was, yeah. It didn't move too quickly.
Yeah, true. That's a nice entry.
This was my analysis from earlier that it wasn't going to see 155 again. Let's see if it continues. It feels like it's going to continue.
Yeah, sure looks like it. Yeah, because at this point the daily would be rejecting this consolidation to the left, and it's starting to break lows as well. So are we gonna start to see some form of retest of the lows? Because this reminds me a lot of what happened on the daily time frame on gold last week or 2 weeks ago, where price basically did a deeper pullback on the daily time frame, sort of created this low, came back inside the previous daily range, and created a resistance in the range. And then we see, bearish continuations after we respected that resistance on Friday. So it seems like the same situation is starting to form on GJ, where maybe price might start going down, form a minor support, break it, and retest this low to continue on for a potential higher time frame retracement. Who knows? Ooh, somebody said I might wait for a minor support formed on 5 minute and wait for it to break so I can take a short. That also makes sense. With this momentum, I think any form of resistance formed can be a pretty good selling opportunity. Will GU retest? Probably unlikely. Unlikely to do a retest. But that
Some
doesn't.
point.
Yeah, at some point you're gonna see a resistance, 100%. Yeah, now we gotta wait for NY open so gold can start doing something. It's creating its target so far, so that's good. Let's look at the 1 minute. Wow, not even a pullback on the 1 minute yet. Gold is moving up, so I missed that retest on the 15. I don't think I missed anything. It was, how would you have caught it? Break of this high? Then you have resistance only 6 pips away, so that's why I'm waiting for a high to be created on the 30 minute, and then a pullback, support formed, and we can take easy buys. And if it closes above, like Panty set mentioned in the YouTube chat, if it closes above 1784,500, then that is also an opportunity to, correct this clean candle to the left. But for me, I'm gonna wait for a target to be created first. I think if we see a pullback and a resistance formed on GJ, then we can take sells to retest the lows. Hello, what is the best trading books you can recommend? I think any psychology books. I think psychology books, they're gonna help you the most. Because technical analysis books, you can just watch the streams and get live technical, technical analysis. All you need is experience. You don't need any book to teach you a method. But so psychology books are really handy. You have Brett Steenbarger. So this guy, I think his name is Brett Steenbarger. Yeah, he's a psychologist specialized in the trading field, so I recommend a lot of his books. You have the Daily Trading Coach, really good book, and then the Trading Psychology 2.0, very extensive books, super detailed. They're bigger than the Bible. We have a bullish 5-minute formed over here on GJ. I think once the 1 minute broke the low, that was a potential entry to retest the lows, but you know, you want to be disciplined and safe. Gold is rejecting this line. Can we look at the 1 minute for the setups during high volume time, as 5 minute doesn't have much market structure? If you have experience, I think you can do that. Yeah. When there's such high volume, because you know time frames still move the same. The only difference is that the 1 minute typically on a typical day doesn't have the volume to print, you know, market structure that has probability behind it. But if you get 1 minute candles that are bigger than your typical 30-minute candle, then absolutely that makes sense. But you know, that's not going to happen every day. So I think first you need to master your plan before you can start focusing on the exceptions. Can I check your chart on GJ? You got stopped out. Was it a wrong entry? Let's check. Entry was down there, stopped out. Oh, so you took your entry as the 30-minute closed bearish. I think it wasn't a wrong entry. No, wait, where was your entry again? How did that stop you out? So wait. I'm not quite sure if you took it impulsively as this 30-minute over here was breaking the previous high and then the next one stopped you out, or if you took it as this one was going down. But I think if you took it on the, because was this, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. I think this was the 30-minute close. I guess this 15-minute right over here was a better entry, because then your stop loss was price wasn't going against you. Because if you entered on this 30-minute as it was going down, creating its bottom wick with a stop loss over there, you don't know how far it's gonna retrace. Maybe it was gonna break this low and come back into the range. So you want to see candles closing in your direction, and I guess the 15-minute closed in your direction, so with a 10 pip stop loss you would have been pretty safe, and this was like a break and retest of this level. But maybe on the 5-minute there was also opportunities for a logical stop loss placement. Yeah, I'm not quite sure of your entry, so it's hard to say. But yeah, your idea was to go up, and it did go up, so that was pretty good. Now you just need to evaluate what went wrong. No, all GBP pairs seem like they're moving the exact same. Yeah, exact same. All the 5 minutes closed with no top wicks. It's all one big algorithm controlling these pairs right now. So we have 15-minute closing. Let's check how this 15 is closing on gold. It's closing below this 4-hour resistance right over here. So delicate situation. Now I'm just speaking out loud over here, but if the 1 minute breaks this structure, could we see a deeper pullback? That's just a question I'm asking myself, so let's see what happens over here. We have 15-minute closing over here with a wick fill. 5-minute closed weak bullish, bearish. It's breaking the highs. It's going to be interesting to see if might be a far-fetched idea, but if it does break the structure, maybe there's potential for a deeper pullback to create a higher time frame resistance, like a 15-minute resistance to retest the lows. I'm thinking of taking a sell once 5-minute closes below on GJ. Yeah, that's going to be also a pretty good idea. Once you get a close below that 5-minute support, you have pretty much this wick to fill to the left, which is only five pips away, but ultimately your first target is going to be right over here at 12 pips, and then clean traffic all the way down to 30 pip range. Possible GJ setup. Let's take a look at this chart. London opened in a bullish manner, NY continued the trend. Look for that price action trade 3 session to break the highs. We have New York highs, Asia highs. No trade range, don't get cooked. Yeah, makes sense. Your level makes sense. I don't know what possible sells below here. Yeah, that also makes sense. Possible sells below 154, 200, 150. If you see a resistance formed, I think that can be a very good idea since you have clean traffic to the left. And I think this news, like I mentioned before on the daily time frame, this news can cause the daily to close bearish and reject this consolidation to the left. As it's failed to create new highs, if we see a resistance formed, I think that can be the start of some bearish market structure to form a higher time frame pullback and setting up for next month to fill this monthly wick. So that might be interesting to see. But if we break below 154, 150, then we're also breaking the daily low, and we have this daily clean candle to the left. So let's take a look at that. It's going to be something to look out for. Got 30 minutes still open. Hourly is right over here. 4 hour. Could this resistance fill this wick? What about gold? I think gold is still below this resistance, so we're waiting for it to create a target.
What a move!
Yeah, crazy, right? I'm seeing
that was, man. I was looking at it. I was like, I saw it coming down. I was like, holy!
Yeah, it took about 1 minute. 1 minute, and it dropped like 40, 50 pips.
Did you put self stops?
No, I didn't. I called out anything because it was in a range, and I'm like, well, news. We're expecting good news, so it could go up. But at the same time, we already went up, so it could go down. So I'm like, well, it might be 50-50, right? So, and I didn't see any great signs of sells nor buys.
Damn.
Yeah, these NY sessions are great practice for trading news. So many high volatile events are happening here.
So you're about to sell down?
No. I'm looking for if resistances are formed for sells to go down, because I believe that with this news coming in like this, if the daily time frame closes bearish, then we can.
Can you go to the monthly for a second?
Yeah. Then we can start to see some bearish market conditions. So monthly is still like weak bearish.
Yeah.
with a wick rejection. If next one breaks the high, it could continue up. But I think if you look at the daily over here, I don't know how well you can see it, but this daily price action is starting to look a heck of a lot like the previous daily price action from like 2 weeks ago, which caused, you know, the market conditions to shift on gold.
Oh yeah, I see
You
it
see,
immediately. Yeah.
yeah, so if this daily candle on GJ closes bearish like that, I think that we can start to see a shift in market conditions to sells, to retest this
That'd
low.
be amazing.
Yeah, because this weekly is ending tomorrow, and once this weekly candle ends, you know, the monthly has a couple more days, but next week can be setting up to fill, at least somewhat fill this monthly wick, and then if it wants to break the high, it'll have a bottom wick to break the liquidity from the bottom wick to break the high and continue on upwards, or just break these lows and do like a fake out, and then do a deeper pull.
I mean, both ways are good ways. So
Yeah, well, honestly, I prefer sells. Selling conditions just happen so much faster and better than buys, but as long as we get good moves, I'm happy. Either way.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So we're gonna see.
What about gold?
Yeah, gold.
Still in the same range?
Yeah, it's broke out of the minor range, but there's so many issues to the left. I'm waiting for it to create a target and then pull back and form a support to retest the target, because there's so many possible rejection points to the left. Like we're at daily resistance right over here. It can fill these wicks, but there's like 4-hour resistance right over here, resistance over here, and on the 30-minute there's all sorts of issues. But with volume there is clean traffic, so we can see a good move up. So that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, makes sense. I think.
A
Hold
buy
on.
over here.
15. Go to the 30 minute?
30. Break at this high.
I think they were pretty good buys right there.
Yeah, break at this high. True.
Because I think at the moment you could have maybe ignored it, or maybe had a break-even trigger at the top of the range. So if you came back down, could have been on a break-even. But yeah, the entry was way too high. Yeah.
Yeah, true. It was a possibility, especially with yeah, even over here. But I'm just want to see a target created first. Then we can see what it can, if it can retest that
Yeah,
high.
makes sense.
Yeah, there's unemployment news coming out in an hour as well, so I think it can retrace before the unemployment. Somebody asking, I think GJ can go more down after NY Open. What do you think? I think I agree with that. We can see some bearish momentum forming here on GJ. A continuation of the bearish momentum. We just need to wait for the right confirmations and the high volume times. Because right now we're at 4-hour support, so we want to see a good resistance form to tell us that we can that, you know, there's still enough sellers to continue on down. And if we do continue on down, then the next target is going to be 153,700 to correct this whole clean 4-hour to the left. BOE didn't change any policy and didn't signal hawkish tones, so nothing changed. Overall theme this week has been Powell walking back the hawkishness from last week. It's been risk on. Yeah, exactly. Nothing really changed. Isn't 30-minute close very probable? Yeah, if a 30... I'm guessing you're gonna refer to GJ. I think a 30-minute close is high probability, but what's your stop loss gonna be? You know, you're gonna have a 70 pip stop loss? I don't think so. So that's why you're gonna look at the lower time frames, see for resistances formed to fill wicks. I was looking at this 5-minute to potentially form a resistance, but it's kind of weak, so nothing to be done there. I think I would want to see a 15-minute resistance formed in this scenario, because this is a 4-hour support area. If we are gonna break lower, then I need to see a 15-minute resistance to indicate sellers are still in the market to continue on selling. Gold on to create highs. How did GA fare this news over here? It's still chilling. Yeah, it seems like volume is already dying down from the news. I think when NY opens, that's going to bring in the second set of volume to create a second leg down, because then NY people can absorb this news event that came out for the pound, and they're going to basically you know, bring in their volume into the market. Please check GBP NZD. I think if you send a chart, that's going to be more beneficial for you and me. Yeah, you see volume is dying down. I think we need to wait another 30 minutes and then we have the second leg down potentially. Because in the 30 minutes after the New York Open, we have, you know, the USD releasing their gross domestic, no, the GDP from, you know, 3 months ago, and then unemployment claims. Oh, thank you, M.A. Hussein. Let's see. I think two things can happen on GJ. It's either going to retrace further up to form a low over here, and on the 15-minute it can retrace up to form a resistance and retest the low, or next candle we're gonna break this support over here and then continue on down. Because let's look left from this support. If we look to the left, we see pretty much clean traffic. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. Yeah, there's just this issue, which is 3 pips away, but with volume shouldn't matter all too much. It's probably a wick on the higher time frames. Yeah, it's pretty much just a wick over here. That's going to be the first issue, which is going to be this wick fill. And then from there you can go break even from this wick fill and correct this whole traffic to the left. Shall we open buy gold now or wait until NY open? I think you can wait until a confirmation presents itself to buy gold, because right now it's not really giving any confirmations for buys. So let's take a look at this chart from Anton. Buy opportunity if it breaks the orange line and close above. So the orange line would be 185-ish on the 2 hour. Okay. Oh hey, isn't this the... I remember this chart. I think we got a chart like this yesterday too, where it was all black candles. Yeah, if it closes above there, that's kind of what we discussed. Then with the volume, there is potential to keep moving up. But if we take a look at these hourly candles, they have already moved up. So yeah, what's the probability that it can keep on moving up without any sort of retracement? It's still pretty high because it's gold, but I feel like we would want to see some kind of support formed to retest the highs. And don't forget, we have USD news coming out in an hour as well. So, ooh, GJ, damn. Okay, I guess bearish momentum isn't over yet on GJ. Maybe once it broke the support, that was a interesting opportunity. But I think if candles start closing below this 5-minute support, maybe we can execute something. But we're gonna have to see how this candle closes. Because this is the new 30-minute. The hourly is still open. Where do we expect the hourly to close? I think in this, yeah, do we expect it to hold this support or break this support? Because if it's gonna break this support, then the next target is gonna be down there, and that would be about 100 pip move. That's actually not too unrealistic. I've seen interest rates move more than 100 pips, so I think there's still enough range to continue on. Let's see where this 5-minute closes in 2 minutes, and maybe we can take a break of this 5-minute low, stops back above this range, and continue on lower. Who knows? Can you please take a look at my USD Cad ideas? Absolutely. Let's take a look at your USD Cad ideas. Risky buy above, you got this buying range, sells, break even trigger, makes sense. First target, second target, also buys above there. I think it makes sense. Pretty good ideas. I like it. Look at where this 5-minute closing, back above this support. That's no good. Very important to wait for candles to close. Happy to help, man. No worries. Quick question. For moves with news like just earlier, for what is number of pips the pairs move towards, does this vary for gold and with other pairs? Yeah, absolutely. It's very dependent on the pair. Like, I know 100 pips for interest rates on GJ is pretty realistic. I've seen it move, 100 pips in an hourly candle, so I think the range is there to continue on lower. The question is if volume is also going to be there, because right now we see prices create a resistance, it's respecting support, so it's essentially just ranging. We saw the previous 15-minute closing week bearish, indicating less bearish volume coming into the market, so we need to evaluate it. And absolutely gold moves much differently with news events. Sometimes gold can move 500 pips, and that's a realistic move for a high impact news on gold. But for GJ to move 500 pips, that's gonna have to be some groundbreaking news. Do you think the USD news will affect gold that much? Absolutely. Look at what's on the right hand side of the gold symbol. It's USD, right? So they're highly correlated, gold and USD. Ooh, sheesh. This 5-minute closed at support. I think it's a very delicate situation executing over here. So that's up to your own discretion. I'm not in it. But if you wanted to take an entry, it would be at the break of this low, stops back above this range, and expect momentum to keep on driving down. But it closed above the range, so for me, it's a no-go right now. I'm going to wait for the NY Open to show me some signs. Why is there no XAU GBP? Well, there is, but the industry standard is to compare gold against the dollar. Not sure why the dollar, but we know about the gold standard back in 1971. The dollar was backed by gold, so I guess the gold and the dollar just go hand in hand. But if you search for it, there is, like pairs like gold against the euro. Of course, there's a market for that. It looks somewhat similarly. The chart looks somewhat similar. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same because the euro moves similar to the dollar. If you look at gold GBP, you'll find gold. The gold against the GBP, they'll move similarly, but the standard is to trade gold against the dollar. So we're going to focus on XAU USD. So it's continuing to move on bullish, creating its targets. GJ is rejecting. Previous candle closed above support, so very aggressive idea to assume that this candle is going to keep on moving down, but with volume, momentum, I think there is a probability. Gold 30-minute close above, enter on break of the highs. Yeah, we discussed, well, break of the highs, I think that's really going to eat away at your range if you take the break of the highs. Then you can better take it on the close because the stop loss is going to be the same, right? If it breaks the high, to have a stop loss at its at the current low is 18 pips. If you took it at the close, then it's also about 18-19 pips. So then you can better take it at the close, and then once it breaks the high, you're already up 13 pips. But it closed below this line over here, so like I mentioned earlier, I want to see a support formed. So let's see, we have this 5-minute. Seems like it's going to close below this support in a minute and 30 seconds. Maybe it could be something interesting. Oh, somebody cut around 70 pips on this GJ sells. Let's take a look at this chart in a little second over here. I'm very curious to see where this 5-minute is going to close. It does seem like it wants to continue on melting down, to be honest. So just depends on how strong this candle closes. If it can close below this previous low, then I'm going to enter a sell. And then I'll put on the money song. Let's put on the money song right now. Money song. Yeah, it seems like it's closing pretty okay. It's got 20 seconds left to go, and I expect the last. Yeah, I expect these wicks to break with volume, honestly. So let's see, it's closing so good so far. Stop loss is gonna be around 8 pips, and I'm gonna take a sell. Let's see how the next one opens. Once this candle flips bearish. Yeah, should be pretty good. So I'm gonna sell from 154.140. Basically just expecting volume to keep on pushing down, break this low. I'm not gonna put it on screen right now, I'm focused on my chart thing. Lol, the money song. Yeah, let's see if this song can add confluence to this trade over here. So basically entry is 140, stop loss is right over here for about 6 pips, 7 pips. But I'm aware that this is selling the low, but I personally believe that there's more lows to be created. So with volume, I think we can keep on heading down, but it seems like candles are starting to close with small bodies on the 1 minute. If it starts breaking this structure over here, I'm gonna close probably the majority of my position, like 75% at minus 3-4 pips. So we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, so I closed 75%, 75% right over here, because basically we see the previous 1 minute closing weak bearish, indicating low bearish momentum. So I'm gonna leave the rest running to see if this 5 minute can continue on down, fill these wicks, and then continue to the low over here. But as long as we stay below this resistance, we should be good. Running minus 5 pips in profit. If it breaks the previous 5 minute high at 0.200, I'm gonna be out. Somebody said it only moved 2 pips and you closed it, lol. Yeah, it's called risk management, lol. I don't hold drawdowns. I don't know about you. So it's starting to break the 5 minute highs. I think I'm about to be out right now. Yep. So that stopped me out. Was worth a shot. I think volume could have continued down. I know it's selling the low, but with volume, price creates lower lows. So now we just wait for a deeper resistance to form. Was about, let's see. Let's go to the day. Was about a very small loss over here. Let me show you guys today. So I had sells in, no, buys, gold buys in London, and this GJ sell basically gave back a tiny bit of profits. Used my full position size. So you see my entry was right around here, and this stopped me out right over there. So this is the live account. I'll show you right over there. You can see the lot size was 0.50 cent, and I lost about, let's see, entry 142, exit 800. So I lost about 4 pips over there. It's good. It's all good. So the money song didn't help us out today, so we're gonna play a different song. We're gonna go on to a different playlist. Yeah, with risk management, you're always safe. So that's why I closed 2 pips. What about gold? Yeah, gold is going up. Like I said, I want to see a target created and then retest of that target. Raja would not be impressed trading GJ on 5 minute and 1 minute. Like I said, with volume, price can go on to create lower lows. So it is what it is. And I only lost 4 pips. So what's 4 pips? I'll get, you know, on any profitable trade, I'll get 20 pips. So what's the risk to reward on that? What's the title of the money song? It's called Hear the Noise. Ooh, nice. Somebody cut 35 pips on UJ. Let's take a look. Very nice. Makes sense. What's this fancy indicator over here? RSI and ATR. Interesting. So sells a free test. Yeah, on a break and retest can go down and retest the lows. So now we're gonna wait for NY open here on gold if it can maybe pull back and then form a support to go back up. Yeah, look at this, 15-minute closed above, so no trades. Oh yeah, let me put it up on the screen. GJ sells minus 4 pips. But yeah, ultimately I think price is gonna come down to 153,700. I think that's very, very high probability with the kind of news coming out and how the daily time frame is reacting to this news. We can definitely see somebody said, it's funny to see that everyone always knows what exactly was going to happen after it actually happened. Jokers. Yeah, that's always seems to be the way of the gulag. Everybody's like, before the fact nobody talks, and then after the fact everybody comes out and it's like, oh yeah, but obviously there was this and that. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't trade the news that much, so I don't know how to behave around the news, but I'm like, you know, I see a lot of momentum and I'm like, there's clean candles to the left, so with volume it makes perfect sense to continue on down. Maybe the timing was wrong, but it's something I'll learn from it. Anyone from Brazil who follows the work of Raja and likes to trade gold, let's talk on Instagram. Gulag has a crystal ball, yeah. What's my spread on gold? My spread on gold is like, she should just shut up as I was trying to make it. Like 1 pip, 0.8. Yeah, at this point, to take second chances, I need to see some form of retracement, but I still believe that volume will continue on to create lower lows. Maybe once it breaks this low then. Over here, since there's no issues after that, after this low, then it's all, what's it called, clean traffic. Do you think enter sells after the break of daily and 4-hour low could be good? I'm guessing on GJ you're talking about break of daily low. Yeah, it already broke daily low, 4-hour low. I think if you see a resistance formed, it can continue on down. GJ is getting much harder than gold. Yeah, GJ is my second pair now. Like, gold has become my main pair over here. As it moves up to create a target, it's gonna be perfect opportunities are gonna come. 11 pips from gold. Let's go. Nice. X antivirus got 11 pips on gold. Very nice. If GBP continues bearish, then FTSE should be bullish. Waiting for a breakout on 5 minute. Oh, interesting. You're trading the FTSE. Quite interesting. Let's take a look. So why, if GBP would go down, why would the FTSE go up? Aren't they correlated? I'm curious about that. 5 minute, if it breaks this high, yeah, it could be a good idea. It's only the 5 minutes, so I don't have much information, but it does seem rather bullish. I'm just curious though, how, if the pound is bearish, how would the FTSE be going up? Aren't they correlated? Just got in. What's my target with gold? My target, 87,500. Right over here. That's my target. Where did you get in? Probably this 5 minute was a pretty good opportunity. 13 pip stop loss, 20 pip target. Makes sense. Master Pete, join the dark side. Start trading US 30. It's gold's big brother. Oh dear. Look here on GA. GA created that resistance and it's going down. So I think I should have traded GA rather than GJ. But GJ I think can also definitely start going down. What did GU do? Is GU also going down? Somewhat. Yeah, so I'm not going to trade GJ anymore because, you know, got stopped out on my second chance. I'm not quite sure how news behaves in New York, so it was a great learning opportunity, something to take in mind for next time. But let's take a look at US 30, I guess. But I know US 30 news moves with the NYSE volume, and I don't usually trade NYSE. And it seems like during London session, majority of times it's somewhat consolidating. Interesting. I might look at it for the fun of it. Who knows? Weekly. Bullish. I think if you take buys on US 30 in the long term, you should be good. You should be good. Because stocks always go up. Gold is going on to create that target. Nice, somebody snagged 30 pips on gold with 10% running. Very nice. Oh, we have the answer to my question. Large proportion of profits on FTSE 100 is made in dollars, which is why when GBP goes down, FTSE 100 goes up. Oh, okay. That's interesting. The Gulag is teaching me something today. Very nice. That's quite interesting. So I'm actually going to move this target a little bit higher to this 4-hour level, since it has so much volume right now. Or even up here. So a revised target might be 1790. Or even... Now I'm going to put this zone over here, and then my fresh target will be the fresh resistance it formed. That's going to be my target. So if you can form a resistance on the 15 minute, pull back to form support, and then I'll take the move up. US 30 is easy to trade if you know what to look for. Yeah, everything is easy to trade when you know what to look for, I think. Hey, today's unemployment claims news, what do you think? How much will gold move then? I don't know. I think it can. The news can move it upwards, even though you're expecting really good numbers for the USD. Price action is telling me that gold can continue moving up. So I think I'm gonna be looking for gold buys. We have a gold trade from the Zoom. Somebody took the break of the high over here. So let's see. Did you take it on the break of this high over here? Or because then you're very lucky to not get stopped out. That came very, very close. Else you maybe executed on this wick over here. Who knows? Yeah, I think a good entry would have been this candle closing above this line over here. Then you can take the breakout. But like I said, I don't want to take the breakout because I don't know where it can go to. So I'd rather for price tell me where it wants to go, and then I'll just take it up there with no hesitations. It's such a good feeling when you close a trade in drawdown and then it hits a stop loss. Yeah, that's risk management. Then essentially you've made money, because if you leave it to run to hit stop loss, you're gonna lose the full position. But if you manage risk, then you somewhat save some money, which you can use for the next trade. So we have NY open in about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Hourly is closing below this support. Honestly, I think my entry was a little too early. Could have waited for the NY open. If this hourly does close below and it breaks this low, I think it can continue on bearish, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna leave my second chance for gold. I'm gonna do that. How you manage your risk? By closing 50% in drawdown. Do you think NY Open keeps pushing gold up? It could keep on pushing up. Maybe the news might have the correction, and then with NYSE it can continue moving up and fill this daily wick to the left. Right here. If daily is gonna break this support, it's trading above the resistance. If it's gonna break it, then it should fill this wick to the left. When is NYSE? It's 1.5 hours after NY open. That's the exact time. 1 p.m. UK time NYSE. No, I think 2:30 p.m. UK time. I'm new here. Do you do this every day? Yes, sir. We do this every London session, every New York session. So make sure to subscribe so you can tune in. Gold 1800s. I think so. I think it can tap 1800s, yeah. Appreciate if you can advise on Euro JPY. Let's advise on Euro JPY. I think Euro JPY is ranging, so there's not much to be done right now other than waiting for a break below this structure to correct the clean move going up and mirror this move going up with clean candles going down, or break above this support to continue the bullish trend. Because if we break below here, then the daily is also breaking the low, and then there should be no questions or doubts about where price is going. But for right now, it's in a really big range. You can say that this is also a level, and that's true. I don't have it marked because even if it breaks below here, the range is only 12 pips. So you're not looking to trade within there. So I like to keep my charts as simple as possible and as few lines as possible. GJ is closing here in 20 seconds. Gold is looking like that. I think with NY open, it can continue down. But I'm probably not going to give it any second chances unless it forms like a resistance. Yeah, but looking, it created this lower high, lower high, lower high. I think if it breaks down here with volume and a top wick, then it can continue its move down. Oh, Noyim in the YouTube chat is still holding his GJ sells. That's amazing. You must have a really good entry from somewhere up here. Let's take a look at this chart from the zoom. Enter based on the break of 15-minute consolidation area pre-NY session. Sell below current one. Secured full position, done for the day. Ooh, wow, you held full position. That's pretty sick. That's like what, 40 pips, something like that. That's pretty sick. I was looking at this 5-minute break. Where was it? Right over here. This one, and then it got stopped out at break even, I guess, and then you could have re-entered on this 5-minute. So gold GJ is going down with no top wick, so this no top wick and it being the first 5 minutes of this new hourly candle is really decreasing the probability of breaking this low and continuing on down. So, ooh, it's a triangle pattern on GJ. Ooh, wow. Okay, so that's called a triangle pattern. That's great to know. See, it broke the lows. I think with volume it can continue going down. The only thing is that it has no top wick, so there it goes. 6 pips, 7 pips, 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips. Ooh, wow, that took about 10 seconds for 10 pips. All the retards that told me I was selling the low. Here's the lower low for you guys, so now you know how it works. My signal group told me to sell from up there on GJ, but I didn't follow instructions. How sad. Ooh. Yeah, quite sad. Yeah, I'm not giving advice here on the streams. I'm just showing what I would do, right? So 15 pips on this break at the low. So we can easily tap into 153,700. Easy peasy. So that would be about 100 pips away. Potential trade on US 30. What's my opinion on it? Let's take a look. Waiting for the break. Once it breaks, stop loss on top of 15-minute candle. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. From what I saw, it was more bullish than bearish, so probably the break above is going to have more probability than the break below. But I like the ideas. Ooh, wow, look at that. And within 5 minutes, we are almost at, we're 10 pips away from 153,700. Yeah, I just need to wait for New York Open. That was it. That was my mistake. Can you analyze CAD Swiss franc? I don't know. Can you send a chart? What is sad is closing a position in drawdown and then it goes in your direction after. Yeah, but better to manage risk and then give it a second chance. Because my trade over here would have hit minus 9 pips with spread maybe minus 10. But it's running 20-30 pips right now, so I think what I needed to do was I did a really good job at managing risk over here. It was just a 4 pip sell loss. What I could have done is, like I said, is take the break of the low on the hourly with NY open volume, and that would be running up 25 pips. So what's the risk to reward? Minus 4 and 24. That's like what, 6 to 1 risk to reward. So I can take all these losses all day long, and one trade is going to make up for everything. Feels good when your pending order doesn't get hit and price ends up reversing. True. Why are you always making it sound like... I don't know, man. I guess it's a habit. Thank you, bro. Nice drop on GJ. Oh, if you caught it, that's amazing. So if you guys are enjoying today's stream, definitely drop a like on the stream. We appreciate that a lot. And if you caught any sort of sells coming down to 153,700, definitely drop a like and subscribe. Gold is continuing to move up over here. There's no signs of a pullback just yet. Oh, somebody cut 21 pips from GJ, so it sounds like you took the break of that low, because then you'd be up around 21, 25. Someone else is in GJ. People did make money on this sell. Nice. Check this. Is it legit or am I just lucky? Let's take a look. Impulse entry after breaking of own low on the 4-hour and daily target TP. Yeah, that made perfect sense. It's like we spoke about. Once it broke this hourly low, once this hourly closed, it closed below here. It was New York open time, high volume time. Once it broke this hourly low, there was nothing stopping it from coming down to 153.700. And with volume, it should basically mirror this candle going up, should be mirrored going down. So that was a really good trade. Definitely not lucky. It was a very well structured trade. Very nice. How many trades do you take on average per day? 1 or 2 trades a day, I would say. So yeah, now I'm going to leave my second opportunity for gold to come down from a support and then go back up. I'm still in profits for the day from the gold buys. I had 10 pips on gold buys towards the end of London session. So this trade, I lost very little on this trade for pips. It's nothing. $7 profit on GJ. Very nice. That's like 2 coffees. 2 coffees over there. Yeah, so next time I can better wait for a high volume time to come into the market to sell the low, because then you know that there's going to be a lower low created. I have noticed I can make tutu noises when I am on Zoom and focusing on something. Maybe we have the same issue. Yeah, probably. I'm going to try and keep it down then. Now it's $7 less to $1 million. That's true. Nice. When do you think is a good time to start paying yourself from day trading? I think if you're consistently ending your months in profits, I think you can withdraw some of that profit and then use the remaining profit to leverage in the next month. If there's a very good opportunity, then you can take that with a somewhat higher risk, because you know that you have profits that you can risk.
Yeah, I'm looking at buys at this point on GJ.
Yeah, I can imagine. This was for you. It's like a
likewise. Likewise. It's 4-hour trades.
Yeah, it makes sense. We have my first time trading news, making money on GJGU but losing on gold. Usually they go together. Can you help with some info on that, please? Yeah, I mean, gold is a very, very volatile pair. It's very, very hard to trade. It moves. It's not a currency. You have to understand, GJGU, it's a currency, right? Gold is a commodity, so it moves slightly different. So if you're profitable on GJ and GU, keep trading GJ and GU and paper trade gold until you can start to understand its nuances. I think that's gonna be the best idea. Thoughts on gold buy on 5 minute if it prints a small body resistance, so like a booby trap. I think yeah, it could be an idea. It could be like a second, third leg up, because this was like kind of like a bigger consolidation area. This is the first leg up, and now we're in NY open. If it breaks this high, it could go up. It kind of reminds me of where was it? Kind of reminds me, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, right over here where it did form that as well. It formed this bearish engulfing candle. Next one broke the high, and it did go up before a deeper pullback. But like I said, I'd want to see a pullback. This is a target created. I want to see a pullback, support, and then enough range to retest the target. Because you don't know where it's going to reject. That's the issue with taking the breakout. I already had a profitable trade on gold, so I don't need to risk it for the biscuit and catch the breakout. I'm comfortable taking the retest. What's my trade idea for gold, man? I just said wait for a retest. It's such an amazing day. Took 2 trades on GJ, both sells. I got 17 and 16 pips. Nicely done. Can you tell more about the GJ buy? Probably they're looking for buys since this is a retracement. So that's probably what they're looking for, to reject this level. But I think it's markets are shifting to bearish conditions. It's kind of this exact same situation we see on gold, where if it failed to create a higher high, it formed a resistance within the previous range, and then from there we started to see the bearish market conditions forming, and this wick got filled, right? And so that's probably what we're gonna see on GJ as well, a shift towards market bearish conditions, and that's gonna set up the next monthly candle to fill the bottom, to somewhat fill this bearish wick, and then if it wants to break the high and head up, it's got the liquidity to do that. No, GJ sells in higher time frame. It's making lower low in the 4 hour and respecting the trend line, I guess. Will you be live tomorrow, and what time? Yes, we'll be live tomorrow at London session. Starts at 7:30 Central European time. We have New York session starting at 12:30 Central European time. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when we go live, and you won't catch those. You won't miss those early bird signals. Not that we offer signals, but do you trade the U.S. news in the next 20 minutes? Not directly, no. But I'm gonna look to trade the aftermath of it, kind of like what I did on GJ, right? I let it create the first leg down, whether it went up or down, and then I would have caught the second leg down. So that's probably what I'm gonna look to do on gold. I think the news can create a retracement for gold, since it's gonna be positive news for the dollar. That should cause gold to go down. So that might be the catalyst to form a retest, but overall gold is pretty bullish. So I think the buyers are going to step in, form the support I've been talking about, and then basically retest the high that it's creating right now. Pretty simple. And GJ says should still tap 153.700. Easy. 5 minute closed without a top wick. Yep, true. I'm new to trading. Is there any way to get from where I am to where you are practically? Any advice? I would say start with baby pips. Baby pips, learn support, resistance, candlesticks, high volume times, learn all that stuff if you go to education, and then how to trade Forex. I'm not sure if this stuff is copyright, so I'm probably not going to show it that much, but if you go over there, should be pretty good. Paper trade every day till you get comfortable. Yeah, that's also true. Paper trade, simulate, and then go with a live account. After baby pips, what to do? Tune into the streams, learn how we draw support, resistances, learn what we look for, the confirmations we look for, our style, and try to, and then take paper trades, take demo trades, live trades on small account, and collect data. When you have data, you can evaluate what's working and what's not working, and with that data you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Very simple explanation, but that's the truth. You don't need any more than that. 5 days a week, select a dedicated session. Oh yeah, and stick to one session. One session, 1 or 2 trades a day, of course. Why are you so focused on GJ move to XAU for a few minutes, man? Yeah, I just wanted to see how, cause GJ was more interesting today with the news that it had, and then there was the second leg down. But yeah, gold is going to be interesting too as well. If it starts to retrace, form a support, retest the highs, there should be no questions of you know what it's going to do after that. But because it's such a high volatile pair, if it breaks this 15-minute high, then that could be the catalyst for a second leg up. But you know, I've already taken a profitable trade on gold, so I'm looking for a better position once it retests. Would be lovely if it comes to 0.700, yeah. $7:30 Namibian time? No sir, 7:30 Central European time. So type into Google 7:30 Central European time to whatever time zone you're in, and you'll have your answers. Yeah, or if this 5-minute closes above this resistance, that could be also a catalyst for a second move up, but that's not going to be within my plan for this session, so it's going to be, and it is what it is. Will GJ have a third leg? Only if it retraces deeper on the 15-minute, after creating support, forms resistance, and then the third leg is going to come once to retest the lows, and then maybe tap into 700. Can you get my Instagram? Yes, sir, absolutely. Let me bring it up for you. Instagram / my name. So this is my Instagram. I'll post the link for you in the chat. This is also my name. You can give a follow if you liked my analysis. Send me a DM. I always tend to answer my DMs. So here's the Instagram link for you guys. Can I get your... can you explain the idea on breakout of a zone? Yes, it's pretty simple. So here we have a zone on gold, and we see how this hourly closed above the zone with a wick fill, and it's a big body candle, so that means there's a lot of volume, there's momentum coming into the market. So once it closed, the next one, it makes sense for the next candle to continue on upwards to the next zone. So, and we see the next zone was right about 1782, and that's exactly where it headed off to. And then if we look on the 30-minute time frame, we see that this 30-minute broke above this zone. It broke and closed above this zone. Next 30-minute came down to do a retest, and then the 30-minute after that went up. So those are basically breakout trades. Gold is gonna crash, lol. Yeah, I hope it crashes to 1784, forms a support, and then it'll crash its way back up to the high at 1788. If you have to ask for trade signals, close your live account. I'm in sells on gold. Nice sells on gold. Josh K. I think those are some amazing sells. So you're about to find out the definition of a booby trap candle, I think, Josh. Yeah. If people know the booby trap candle story, Josh is about to get a nice lesson on it. Can I get your shoe size? I don't think so. I'm gonna leave that private. So what did GA, oh wow. Yeah, GA formed that resistance, and it did a beautiful second leg of 40 pips. I think I should trade it GA rather than GJ. That would have worked out better. The 5-minute looks something like this. Let's look at GBP USD. Yeah, no resistance is formed on this thing. Oh wow, that was a pretty nice resistance right over there to retest the lows. You had like a 15-17 pip range. Damn, when did this happen? 20 minutes after the news. Okay. GA has a middle finger on the daily time frame. I don't see it. Why increasing interest rates is just a prediction based on dot plot, but no real statement on these are still low. I don't understand that question. Oh sheesh, what happened here? Damn. Gold. Relax. So yeah, if it forms a support right over here. Oh wait, we have news coming out. So let's see how the news behaves first. Why didn't you re-entry on GJ? Well, because it wasn't in my plan to re-enter. So I wanted to save my second chance for gold. Once it retraces, I'm more profitable on gold. Gold is my main pair, GJ is my second pair, so I'm like, well, let's just wait for gold confirmations. But I called it out. The only thing was that this top wick over here ended breaking the low in the first 5 minutes, really deteriorated the probability. But I think the probability was still net positive. If you take this trade 10 times in a row with correct risk management, I think you'll 100% be extremely profitable, especially if you can hold your runners, because you know there's no reason to not hold a runner down to 10 to 15, 20 pips. And your risk was like, maybe I would have closed full if the candle flipped bullish, so you'd have a 6 pip risk, 20 pip target, 25, so net positive. What besides Forex Factory to get the newest news? I'd only use Forex Factory. I don't look at anything else. All I really care about are these folder news. I don't really pay attention to the articles. Articles are just opinions, and opinions are not necessary in the market. Everybody has their opinion. Yeah, there's also my FX book, and if you Google Forex news, you'll probably get like 20 other news sites, so plenty to go around. So this is perfect. We see a very weak support formed. We're breaking that support. That's a really, really good indication for a further pullback. So the people in the sells from this candle over here, they're gonna get their lucky win today. Well, maybe they'll get a lucky win today, and then I'll take the buys up. Be careful of the news. Yeah, exactly. I think the news is going to be the catalyst to push it down and make that retracement, because it's going to be positive news. They're expecting very positive news for the dollar. Like 300,000 people have gotten a job this week. So that's really positive news for the dollar, and gold is inversely correlated to the dollar. So good news for the dollar means bad news for gold. So that might be the catalyst to do a retracement. So the 15 minutes where the news is released, we could see a bearish 15 minute coming down to either 84, 82, somewhere along those lines, and then the next 15 minute or the next 30 minute can form a support to retest these highs again. Hello sir, how long have you been trading? About 2 years, almost 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years. You think you don't think that the news is already priced in on gold? No, I don't think so. And unemployment news, this happens every week, so the market is used to this news. It's not like NFP or whatever. It's The market is quite used to this unemployment claims. So it shouldn't really, whatever it comes out to, the price action is 90% of times always ahead of the news. So if it forms a support and news comes out at the same time, chances are it's still gonna go up, but probably gonna go up twice as fast. That's really it. Trading price action, which is reversal candle, you trust what? Which is reversal candle I trust most? What I trust most to take reversals is a break of structure. Kind of like what we saw yesterday on the 15-minute right here. Price came up, it came up to this 4-hour daily resistance. We see support formed to retest the highs, but if you evaluate this trade, the range is not there. It's a weak support, it's 15-minute confirmation, so once we broke this low, it made perfect sense that we are respecting this resistance in a range and we can head down to the support. So this is my favorite reversal pattern. We kind of see it here on the 5-minute, which is why it's indicating a deeper pullback. What lot size do I recommend for $2,000 account? I would say with a 10 pip stop loss, 20 cent lots is pretty good. 20 cent lots is pretty good. What is your continuation pattern? I have two. This break of the high. So this is my first continuation pattern, happened this morning, where we see a weak bearish 5-minute candle. Next one broke the high, and that made perfect sense for price to create the second leg up. And then my second continuation pattern is when price, on the third leg, when price comes down, forms a support, and then it can retest the highs. So we see the first leg happened here once it started breaking these highs. Very risky, but very high reward. It's very risky because the probability of it being a fake out, of it rejecting resistance is very high, but the reward is also very high because there, at that point, you have the most amount of range. Like if you got in from there, you held, you had a 100 pip trade, right? So the reward is very high because it's also very less likely for your runner to be stopped out, but the win rate is going to be less. My sweet spot for me is the second leg up because the win percentage is still very high. The range is still usually very good, and there's still a lot of volume to continue. So that's my sweet spot. And then you have the third leg down, which is still very high probability. But you tend to have bigger stop losses and your targets are less, and there's less probability for your runners to run. Ooh, somebody's holding a risk-free runner for the news. Nice. It's coming out in like 1.5 minutes. Somebody uses 0.20 on a 500 account. Yeah. Booby trap, huh? Yeah, man. This was the probability. This was a probability of it going down or breaking the highs, but got a little bit lucky. There's a 1-hour Marubozu candle on gold. What does this mean? I have no clue. I think you should tell me what that means. I see a big candle and then that's it. I don't know what a Marubozu is. So we're coming down. If we form, I'm gonna wait for at least a 15-minute support because within, right now, in a minute, in 20 seconds, we have news released. So a 5-minute support can just be thrown out the window if it gets formed. So 15-minute is gonna be the very minimum I'm gonna wait for. So let's see how that impacts gold in 3, 2, 1. Wow, spreads are surprisingly low. It's 0 pip spread right now for me. It's going up. Hopefully it doesn't just go straight up. I'd really love enough range to take the buys to retest the highs. What did the news come out as? I guess it's just gonna go up. It is what it is.
I'm in GJ buys.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, damn, unemployment came out super bad. So they're expecting really good numbers to be less than, you know, 300,000 from the previous one, but it came out only 10,000 less than the previous one. Sheesh. So those are really, really bad numbers. So it makes sense for gold to just pump up, which is kind of, who knows if it's just gonna pump straight up. So let's take a look at the other numbers we had. Also GDP. GDP stayed pretty much the same, so that's pretty good. But yeah, this unemployment came out really, really bad. Like, that's way off. Crazy. Yeah, but it comes out once a week, so it's not really a high impact news. The market has gotten used to it by now. So we got some more news for the dollar as well. Less impact. Yeah, let's see if it can form that support I've been eyeing for. GJ is going up. Abdullah is in profits on his buys. Very nice. So hourly is now creating the top wick. That's the issue when candles go down with no top wick. There's always that probability that it can, when they're open, there's always that probability that it can just come back up and create that top wick. But with volume, it just makes sense.
If I tell you my entry, you're gonna freak out.
850. 153, 850.
My entry is at 153, 870.
870, damn. Pretty good. But I guess this bad news for the dollar is a really good confluence for my buying idea, because if it can just retrace a little bit more, form a support, leaving a wick to this level, then sheesh, it's I think very high probability it can come back up to 1795, especially with the what's it called, New York Stock Exchange open, since I think the NYSE traders, they're just waking up, they're going to the office, they're going to their trading floors, and then in an hour's time they're gonna look at their news and they're gonna be like, oh, there was really bad USD unemployment, let's go buy gold. And then when they all start to buying gold at the New York Stock Exchange open, that's gonna push price to 1795. So it's either gonna form a support over here, or it's gonna break above this high and create a higher high. So that's the whole thing. People think we buy highs and sell lows, but what they don't understand is that we know when volume is gonna kick in. We have the experience to know how price moves and when volume kicks in, and you know, when there's high volume times, price is gonna create higher highs, higher lows. So that's the thing. You just need experience. What's the gulag doing? So what have you guys done for this NY Open? Any trades caught? When candle doesn't make top wick at close of the candle, it would come up and it oh, okay. Been collecting profits for the past 2 days, lost it in 10 minutes. Yeah, I think that's how things goes. I think things go down much faster than they go up. And that applies to life, to everything. The markets, life, your trading account, your investments, your car, gravity. Because look how long it took GJ to come from 153,800 to 155,100. It took about, let's count this. So it hit right over here. It took about 20 hours. 21 hour candles for it to move, you know, 130 pips. It took about 1.5 hourly candles to move back down 100 pips, right? If we take a look at US 30 as well, check this out. US 30, any sell-off on US 30, like, let's take a look at maybe the weekly time frame. Check this out. So just look at the sell-offs, right? This was in obviously this was a market crash, very exceptional market conditions, but it basically sold off to this low, which was created in 14th November 2016. So it took US 30 1,190 days to go from 17,990 to 29,500, but only maybe like 4 weeks to go all the way down from, you know, what I just said all the way back down to there. It took about 30 days. So I think this applies to your trading account too. You can have a really good week and then lose that week in a day, in a trade, even one trade, one session, you know. So very important to stay disciplined. I think if we start forming resistances on GJ, we can come down to retest the lows. That's what I would be looking for, the third leg down. And then if we break the resistance, then that's going to be a break of structure to continue on back up. How long did it take for you to find the sweet spot in trading? It took me about 8 months. 8 months to find what was really, really working for me and eliminate what wasn't working for me. 8 months and 250 trades journaled. That's what it took. If you keep your risk to 2% per trade, you wouldn't risk everything in one day. Yeah, that's also true. We haven't even made support yet on GJ Chill. What are you talking about? This is a support. This is a support formed at 153,900. So any idea for multi-bank FX broker? I've got no clue. And what was that sweet spot? It was basically finding my own system, you know, because it's super easy to slap zones and what's it called? To slap these zones on a chart and spot resistances and supports. That's super, super easy, but finding what works for you, that's the hard part. So that's the sweet spot, is finding what works for you and then just eliminating all the tiny inefficiencies you have throughout a month. I had 250 trades in my first month. Yeah, some people trade like there's no tomorrow. Did you lose money on your first Forex account? Yeah, it was a 10,000 account. I lost 9% in 8 months. So ooh, sheesh. Only 250 trades journaled. I have 1,500 and still not consistently profitable. Well, are you looking at those trades? Are you evaluating what's going well and what's not going well? What's the difference between your trading and Raja's trading style? Well, Raja's my mentor, so he taught me what to look for in the markets. You know, he taught me market structure. He taught me, you know, how to draw zones, how to plot support, resistance, the high volume times and things like that. But for the rest, it's all in my experience. So I used what he taught me to build my experience, you know, to take those 250 trades, go through 8 months of being on the charts for my specific session, which is the London session, and collect that data and then evaluate my own systems based on his what he taught me, right? But he didn't teach me a strategy. He teaches a way of reading the markets. Please, what does Wix tell you when a candle closes? It tells me that there's a range to fill when price is trending up or down. So like this wick over here, price is in an uptrend. To continue the uptrend, it needs to respect lows and make higher highs. So if it's gonna make a higher high, it needs to break this high. And for it to break this high, it first needs to fill the range, right? Sir, can you make a video on about how to journal trades? What needs to be noted? What software you use? Yeah, absolutely. I could do that. Actually, for the people that don't know, I actually have a consulting platform where I consult traders on building your own to build your own system. So if you go to my Instagram over here, click the link in the bio. I have this little consulting platform to help traders build on their own, systems, help them journal better. So these are some solutions I can help with. So I'll drop the link to both these in the chat. So yeah, I am not sure I understood. So you lost 10,000 on your first Forex account? No, no, no. I deposited 10,000 and I lost 9%. So like 900 bucks. And 550 of those was in commissions, so it was really nothing. Really, really cheap education I got there. See, price is having a hard time coming back above 154.200 if it starts to form resistances here. I think we can see the third leg down. Let's take a look, but I'm gonna wait for a 15-minute to close, and this is gonna be the exact same situation I'm looking for on gold. So if we can get that happening twice today, then oh boy, I think it's gonna be a very profitable day. Oh cool, one of your supports on gold is the same as mine. Phew. Yeah, it's always a good confluence, right? What do I think gold about 4 hour? I think it's rejecting this 4 hour resistance. But in 16 minutes it's about to close. And if it is going to close above this level over here, then I think the next one can fill the wick a little bit. And then from that point on, who knows? Who knows? That's the only idea I'm looking at, is to fill this range, and then from that point on, if it wants to continue running, then it'd be my guess. But I know that filling this wick, extremely high probability, very, very high probability of filling this range, especially with NYSE open. So we're gonna take a look at that. Let's see, GJ's rejecting. Yeah, I think to take a sell, what you're gonna want to see is a bearish 15-minute candle. I think taking a sell at the break of this 15-minute low, very aggressive. Very aggressive. I wouldn't do that. I'd wait for a 15-minute candle or a bullish 5-minute candle formed, and then a break of that bullish 5-minute candle, because we see some bullish structure forming on the 5-minute by creating this high. And then you expect it to create a lower low, but it didn't create a lower low. It created a higher low and then a higher high. So maybe right now it's just coming down to form a higher low and then create a higher high, and we see previous 5 minute closed with no wick. So I think it's going to be a very good idea to wait for this 5 minute to close bullish. Then once it breaks this bullish candle, then you can say, okay, it's not going to create a higher high, it's going to go down with volume. So that might happen towards NYSE as well, because here in the 30 minute we got a really nice wick fill. We can come down, fill the wick of 25 pips. Ooh, previous 5 minute close, 15 minute close somewhat bearish, so maybe taking this low wouldn't be the worst idea. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. You should have your own experience to execute on this. But because I took a loss on GJ, I'm just gonna wait for my thing to happen on gold. That's gonna be the second trade I have planned for this session. 5 minute strong confirmation for our support right now on gold. No, not strong at all, because you have the 4 hour closing in 13 minutes, and with the close of the 4 hour you don't know if it's gonna go straight up or first create a bottom wick. I think it's gonna first create a bottom wick, and then in the second 30 minute, which is NYSE open, with that volume it can definitely fill this wick. I mean, just look at what happened at the last NYSE open, right? This was yesterday, NYSE open, 100 pip move. So I think 15 minute is going to be no, because if it closes strong, then the range from where the support is formed to this level is not quite enough. So it really needs to retrace further down, which would be the new 4 hour wick tail coming down to retest this level, and then once it flips bullish, forms support, NYSE is going to go up. Mind explaining briefly what do the long wicks really mean? The really long wicks, they mean rejection. Like the really long ones, they mean rejection, like this one. I like how you said the long wicks. So like if you have a decent sized wick, like this was a decent sized wick on the 4 hour, that means that it can fill the wick, break the high and create a higher high. But on a candle like this, where it closes with a small body but a really big wick, really long wick, that means a rejection. So and you see this 4 hour is kind of coming down. It created this wick up, rejecting this previous resistance. But the thing is, we're still in a bullish momentum, so until we see a break of the lower time frame structure, we're gonna fill this wick with volume. And then if we reject or continue, I don't know, I don't care. My trade is gonna be to fill this range. Morning session is there for the retail traders to blow their accounts and get tired. By the afternoon, volume is better and trends. Nice, okay. So like by morning you mean pre-NY, NY open, and then towards NYSE it's get better, or? Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I guess, and yeah, I noticed NYSE moves really nicely. Like this was, where was NYSE the day before? I guess here it didn't move much because NY Open did the move, but NY Open didn't really move this time, so who knows. NYSE Open is the best, yeah. Yesterday was crazy. I was looking for buys above this 5 minute high, but then I was like, I didn't stay disciplined the whole day just to take a loss or a trade after 5 hours behind the charts. So then I didn't take it, but worked out quite nicely. Anyone took sells from 1787? Oh dear, yeah, there's a couple people in the gulag that took sells from up here. Very risky boys. Should we use reboot for auto trading? I have no clue what that is. Can I buy Euro CAD and sell with USD CAD? Are they related? Yeah, they're related by the CAD, but I don't know if you can just buy one and sell the other. That's kind of hedging. Is NYSE at 9:30, at 9 o'clock or 9:30 ET? It's at 3:30 Central European Time. So basically 3:30 p.m. CET time. So this is it. If you're wondering when NYSE opens, it's 3:30 Central European Time, and then you can click convert to whatever. Let's put some timpani beat. How can we... Whoa, don't spam, man. Relax. How can you lose on GJ sells? Doesn't make any sense, guy. Yeah, I know, right? What a shocker. I can't believe I lost either. Really shocking. How can... Oh, that's the same question. But it was only 4 pips. We're about to make 10 times that on gold. So your TP for buys is 1788. Yeah, that's the conservative TP. That's like super high probability to reach 1788. If you maybe have profits for the day, you're happy with those profits, and you want to leave a bigger position running, then ultimately the what's it called? The optimistic target, let's call it, is going to be at 1794, or actually maybe make it 1792 500. It's probably going to be the best target over there. Entered on GJ and got out as soon as I entered profits. Oh yeah, nice. Is there anyone from Market Fluidity that trade Asia session daily? Yeah, there's a lot of members in the Asia session channel on Market Fluidity, absolutely. Is it good to buy gold now? No, wait for the 4 hour to close and for support formed. DXY is also about to break lows and probably melt. Nice. So gold should go up, technically, theoretically. So now if this support breaks on the 5 minute, that's going to be your indication that price is going to stop this pullback and retest the lows. Because like I talked about earlier, you have bullish structure starting to form on the 5 minute, and this bullish structure is represented by a you know, like 15 minute, 30 minute pullback. So now is this a reversal or a pullback to create resistance and retest the lows? That's the question you need to answer. And if it breaks this support, then the answer to that question is that it's breaking the pullback, and it's going to retest the lows on the 15 minute.
Yeah, but it depends on the hourly. If the hourly closes bullish.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think if it closes like this, I've seen it.
Yeah, if it closes bearish, there's a higher probability for it to come down. If it closes bullish on the hourly, then yeah, this whole thing was a pickup. And I'm in buys.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, yeah. You're in buys. We're all the way down there, so there's enough room for us to take sells, and then you can ride it up. No. Okay.
No.
You're just like no.
No.
Yeah, I'm only looking at gold really.
I just like the setup on DJ more. Gold's I decided for gold I'm not gonna look at it this week just because I know it's gonna range.
Yeah, true. Ooh, wrong chart from Black Gold. Black Gold, you sent the wrong chart. wanted to
My DJ is looking really nice. Really nice.
yeah, if it breaks this high, then it can go up.
Yeah. 1 hour is gonna close bullish. It's closing bullish. 4 hours gonna close, and I already did this down movement on the 4 hour.
So it can go straight up. And you're not
Yeah,
looking
so
at the
like if
4
the
hour.
next hour does like a little small pullback, and then it breaks the 1 hour high, that could be your extra confirmation to take buys. But like just looking at this 1 hour and how it has like a huge rejection wick on the bottom, we should just continue going back up. The reason why I was looking for buys is because if you look at the 4 hour,
it's
we came back and retested that resistance that we broke out of.
Yeah, true. That
And
makes
it is
sense.
in my fib levels.
Yeah, true, makes sense. So let's look at gold. I think this 4 hour needs to create a bottom wick and then form a support. So ideally this 15-minute can close weak bearish so that the next one can close bullish after creating a bottom wick. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for NYSE. That's the only time I'm gonna execute is NYSE volume time. Oof, somebody just blew up their $2,000 account. They're asking what's a good size for a 500. Oh shit, no, that's 5,000. Oh damn. I think if you blew a 2K account, 5K isn't gonna help you trade any better. Get a 500 euro account and then trade 0.01. Master P, will you continue with the streams till NYSE? Yeah, I'm gonna continue them until I get my gold buys. We're gonna go all the way for the gold buys. Then this hourly becomes a booby trap candle, which is a range to fill on the 4 hour. The only question is, nah, there's no question. Just gotta wait for NY open, SE open. Any idea why the next 4 hour on my MetaTrader platform has already started while the 4 hour candle? Yes, that's because each broker has a different time zone. So the 4 hours open differently, right? Because they're in different time zones. So yeah, I guess this 4 hour on GJ is closing above the support to the left. Well, kind of at the support as of right now. So we're gonna see if it can close below, it's gonna fill the wick. Close above, it can go back up. So NYSE volume time is at 3:30 Central European time. Yeah, this is why I don't use the 4 hour often, because of closing time different in different region. 1 hour is universal. That's true, but I find the 4 hour is super indicative of how the session will behave. News still being digested? Probably not. Maybe with the NYSE traders, they still need to throw their opinions about the news in the market using their lot size. So maybe they'll have an impact for gold going up. Sorry to ask again, but can you re-explain your thoughts on gold and what to expect and what you expect it to do exactly? Pretty much form a support right over here after the 4 hour created its tail down. So right now it's creating a tail down. When the 15-minute can close bullish or 30-minute actually probably better idea to wait for the 30-minute. Can close bullish. NYSE is gonna fill this wick and some more, or it's gonna fill the wick now and I'm gonna be left with it hanging. Either way, who knows. But if it does fill the wick now without any confirmations, there's always going to be another confirmation once it breaks this high. You know, once it breaks and closes this high, there's about 50 pip range to the left to take another confirmation. Let's see, black gold sending in the second attempt after sending in a wrong chart the first time.
Yeah, so DJ now for me, well, once this 1 hour now, this new 1 hour candle makes a bottom wick and it breaks the high, I'm gonna enter again.
And another position, leverage those profits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because new 4 hours coming down with no top wick, so that makes sense. Thanks. Then where would be a good position to buy when a support is formed? That's going to be a good position to buy. Hey, rugged trader, what's good? See, has the 4 hour created a sufficient bottom wick? I would say so. I'd say this is a sufficient enough bottom wick to continue on upwards. So maybe if this 15-minute can close bullish, that might be the a good catalyst to go up. Who knows? I have 400 euros. Is it too few for trading? I use 100 euros for one trade, so I can take 4 trades. Is it okay? No, that's not okay. Would you advise on gold sells at this point? No. Well, yeah, if it forms a support and then breaks this support, then it's gonna go into sells. Ooh, let's put music back on. Yeah, 83 becoming support. That's true. Can I recommend some good Asian streamer? I don't know. I don't follow other streamers, but I think there's one Mac Attack. I think he streams Asia on two days out of the week, I think. I'm not so sure. So Mac Attack I would suggest. Probably pretty good stream, but I've never watched it. Is 1,000 good enough for me to start trading? Yes, sure, it's good enough. Even $100 is good enough. $10 is good enough. Everything's good enough. Four-hour closed in the previous support zone. What's your thoughts? My thought is we are in a bullish momentum, so we can fill this wick. If it breaks 1885, it will be bullish. Potentially, yeah. Probably if it breaks 1885, 85.500, these highs. But then, yeah, I don't know. That's something I would take if it was NYSE open, but I'm just gonna wait for the NYSE open, because one way or the other, it's gonna do a nice move. So right here it's starting to break the highs, so it's going to be a very educative it's going to be a very good learning lesson over here once it breaks these highs, to see if it goes up or down. Please clarify for gold, does the move from NYSE does the move open from will there be a pullback and then run, or will it be direct run? Well, basically the 4 hour created the tail, right? So it created a tail, and if you see the previous tail is also let's delete this one, it's kind of annoying me. The previous tail was also rather small. The one after previous to that was also somewhat small, so I'm satisfied with this tail. If now we get a 30-minute close bullish, then that's going to satisfy my buying idea. Is the Bitcoin market are the same with Forex market? Nope. How can news impact the GJ when numbers are the same? Because it's the interpretation of other traders, how they interpret the news, because that'll cause supply and demand imbalances, and that's how the market moves. You know, it'd be really nice would be to see like a resistance formed and then a break of that resistance. Since we're seeing that bearish market structure formed here on the 5 minute, like we created this low resistance, lower low, and then this other one candle resistance, and now we create this low. If we can create a resistance on maybe the 5 minute, but then it has to line up with the 30-minute close and then break that resistance, we can then we can say that this pullback has been completed, and we can move on to fill the 4 hour wick in overall bullish momentum. I am trading $200 account, and I am doing better. Lol, nice. Why don't you trade 10 lots? Because it's not in my plan. Damn, after being up $10 today, I am now down 75 for the day. Well, why didn't you stop trading when you were up 10? So price broke these highs, it's now moving up. I'm not in it because I want to see I want to be in it with the NYSE volume, since that's the highest probability. You know, it's kind of like the small loss I took earlier on GJ. Took this trade before the NY Open, and then NY Open did the melting. So I just want to be in the best position. I'm in profits for the day, so there's no need to do anything, right? To chase anything. So once this candle closes bullish with NYSE, breaks the high, it's going to fill the range. If there's not enough range, I'm going to wait for a candle to close above, and then there's going to be 50 pip range, and it's going to be very easy to secure 15-20 pips. Are you a scalper or day trader or both? I intraday trader. Just got my magic keys on screen version, but don't know how to use it yet. Oh. Then you learn. Do I think there's going to be a wick fill on the 4 hour on GJ? It kind of closed at support, so you might see like a liquidity grab to go back up. But maybe with NYSE open, if it forms a resistance, you know, at this point it's forming a resistance to be broken, because it needed to pull back deeper for it to form a resistance to retest the lows. But if this candle closes weak bearish and breaks the high with NYSE open, you can see a pullback.
So on GJ, that 1 hour wick is called like a body wick volume candle. So like there's like a very long body, a very long tail with a small body, right? So a larger body on the hour. So it's like what are the likelihoods that we had this huge long wick rejection to the bottom side and closing bullish, that the next candle is just gonna keep going up? What's the probability of that happening? Very high. So now this hourly, this new hourly is making a bottom wick again, and it didn't make a top wick yet, right? So I would say that the first like 15 to 30 minutes of this new hourly candle was that we're making a bottom wick, and the next half of the hourly candle we're gonna come up to make a top wick.
True.
So like I'm gonna enter again as soon as we break this high.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
stop loss below the current hourly wick.
Yeah, exactly. If that happens with NYSE volume, then it's definitely gonna be pretty good. So we have 15-minute closing over here in 3 minutes. Range would be 20 pips. It's very delicate situation. I think I'm gonna have to think about it. Man, this guy V2, I have 400, is it too few for trading? Why is it not good? It's not good because you're risking 25% of the account. 4 trades and you're wiped out. And very, very high probability for you to lose 4 trades in a row. So, but go ahead, do it, see what happens, learn from it. Ooh. I think okay. Yeah, this 5-minute can close weak bearish, break the high, then that will give us a pretty logical stop loss placement. Maybe continue on upwards, but if it's gonna close bullish like this, I don't know. I'd rather wait for NYSE. Do we consider 82.300 as a support resistance level? 82. What? Don't you have? You see it marked on my chart, right? So 15-minute coming to a close in 1.5 minutes. Yeah, this is looking interesting. Looking very interesting. Just have to evaluate, is there enough range? There's 20 pips, 18, not quite enough range. Is there volume? Let's see, volume. 50 minutes closing bullish engulfing, so I would say there is volume. We have the higher time frames in our direction. We have the you know, it's a pretty good confirmation, and the entry, there are some wicks, so it's kind of I think if it creates a bottom wick first and then goes on to break this 5-minute high, I'm gonna take a little buy. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But it's gotta close weak bearish. Let's put on the money song. Yeah, it's closing so far so good. Yeah, I think it would be a pretty good idea. It just needs to create a bottom wick first and then break this 5-minute high, and then that would give me the confidence to basically ooh, it kind of closed weak bullish on my MetaTrader. But based on how the 15-minute is coming down with no top wick grabbing liquidity, if it can Yeah, my Tradingview closed weak bearish and my MetaTrader closed weak bullish, but I think based on how it's grabbing liquidity right now, should be pretty good if it breaks the high. Then the first wick fill is going to be 13-14 pips away. The range is overall like 20-25 pips. So I think it should make sense. This is going to be my third trade for the day. Had one win, 10 pip win, 4 pip loss. Let's see what this one's going to be. Alright, it broke the high. I'm in a little buy. Sheesh. I'm in a... Damn, that went up like 4 pips and then back down. Now it's chilling -2, -3. So I took a little buy from, what's this price? 86 flat. We got the money song playing, so it's all good. Stop loss is like 10 pips. Really expecting volume to continue on pushing, closing this 30-minute bullish. I'm filling this 4-hour wick over here. If it breaks this 1-minute low, gonna close like 75%. Yeah, I'm out.
So I entered GJ.
Nice. Yeah, this trade a little early. Need to wait for NYSE open. That was the whole plan, but that's okay. We're basically gonna wait for NYSE open now, and who knows what it's gonna do. Yeah, GJ flipping bullish. Looks pretty good. So Money Song is not working today, guys. Sheesh. Money Song is no good. It broke. NYSE is already open? No, sir, it is not already open. Oh. XU gold, I would take buy if it breaks and close below. Oh, sell if it breaks and close below, close 50%, free risk trade, target potential buy if it breaks above. Yeah, that's really good. Love that idea. Yeah, so I basically closed full position once this thing came down. It's all good. So now once, yeah, I'm probably gonna call it a day now. I'm just gonna be curious to see what NYSE, what kind of movement it can do. And but if it starts breaking the support, then yeah, it's gonna go down. Basically, then we can say it's gonna respect this resistance. But with volume, it could have easily come up, fill this wick, just like it did over here. But it didn't fill it all the way as I would have liked. Didn't fill it all the way to my TP. So we're gonna call it a stream over here. Gonna end the YouTube for you guys. So if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe so you can tune in for the next times. And don't overtrade, don't over risk. And that's about it. Take care, Gulag. Ciao, ciao.